Hey everyone, happy Monday. I hope everyone had a great start to their work week. I'm so excited to go over this video, which is going to be about the home buying process in North Carolina. Please note that I am a licensed real estate agent in North Carolina only. So if you are buying or selling in a different state, the processes and procedures that I'm about to go over may differ slightly. Also, I have provided a free worksheet going over the steps that we are about to go over. It's in the description below. You should be able to just click that link and download it for free for your use. All right, let's get started. So congratulations, your offer has been accepted, and now we're moving into step number 5, which is your due diligence. Now, as soon as the offer has been accepted, fully executed, which means signed by both the seller and the buyer, if you offered earnest money or due diligence, your agent should be reaching out to you to let you know where to send those deposits. The earnest money deposit is due within 3 banking days, and the due diligence money is due immediately. So as soon as both you and the seller sign that offer to purchase, that due diligence is due immediately. Then your agent should be going over with you that professional services and disclosure form that I showed earlier, and order which inspections you want to have. So for the purpose of this video, we'll just go over a couple. Your general home inspection, which is when a home inspector comes in and inspects all of the general components of the home. Your wood, termite, and pest infestation inspection. And those are more important in some areas than others, just depending on where you're at in North Carolina. Up here we sometimes have subterranean termites, so just depending on where you're at, you may want to order one, you may not. Also, you can get an HVAC inspection, your well water quality test, your septic inspections. So whichever ones you decide to do, your agent can help you order those. Now, let's say that there's something that has come back on the inspection report that you don't like as the buyer, and there's a couple of options that you have. So if you want to ask the seller to fix those issues that have arise from the home inspection report, you can do what is called a due diligence request and repair form. Your agent can help you fill that out. And basically, you'll fill out all of the things that you want to be fixed, and you'll submit that to the seller, and they'll either approve to do it or refuse. You can also request a credit from the seller or a price reduction. So this is pretty typical in what you see. If there's something on the home inspection report that's going to cost around $2,000 to fix, the buyer may request a credit or a price reduction from the seller of $2,000. So that's another option. And then if it's something in the home inspection report that you absolutely just cannot live with and you do not want to go through with the property, you can cancel the contract before the due diligence period. Okay, also, while you are doing your inspections, your real estate agent should have sent your offer to purchase as well as the supporting documents to the lender to start the underwriting process. The lender will immediately order an appraisal. Appraisals can be around $500 to $600, depending on where you're at. That's what they're going for up here right now. And basically, an appraiser is a person who comes out to the property and assesses your home and determines what that home is worth. It's very important to note that, let's say we go back to that scenario where you and the seller agreed on a $425,000 purchase price, and the appraiser only appraised the property at $420,000. That's a $5,000 difference, and it's under what you offered, which is it's not a good thing. So there's some options there. You can ask the seller to come down to the $420,000 to meet the appraisal price. If the seller does not do that, if they don't budge, then you're going to have to, as the buyer, you're going to have to come up with that extra $5,000. So hopefully what you see from the appraisal is that it's right at the value, right at the purchase price that you offered, or over. It's good to see over on the appraisal. Now, after the appraisal is done and good, just keep following up with your lender, and they will send you what is called a clear to close. That's always the best email or message to receive from your bank or your lender, as you're getting closer to closing. You should receive it as well as your real estate agent, and that basically means, in the attorney, that basically means we're clear to close, we're good to move forward to the closing. Step 6 is pre-closing duties, and I like to separate this step out from due diligence, because these are duties that you want to do pretty much towards the end, like right after you're done with your due diligence and before closing. And these are some things, including but not limited to getting your homeowner's insurance intact. If you're getting a mortgage, most of the time your homeowner's insurance will be included in your mortgage, and it's going to be under a line item called escrow. And that will also include like your property tax and all that. So I recommend, reaching out to a couple of insurance agents to get a quote on homeowner's insurance. So you just want to make sure you get that done and in effect the day of that you move or that you're going to close. And then the listing agent that's representing the seller should send a list of all of the utilities that need to be transferred from their seller's name into your name, to the new buyer's name. So some of these are included but not limited to your electricity, your internet, water and sewer if you live in a city and have to pay that bill. And then we live in the mountains, so we don't have natural gas here. What we have are propane tanks that have to get filled periodically when they get low. And most of the time you'll see that the propane tanks are leased by the gas companies. So if that current owner has the lease in their name, then the new buyer is going to need to transfer that lease into their name. You'll also be receiving your CDs, which stands for closing disclosures. And you should receive that 3 business days before your actual closing. And it's very important that you look that over with your agent to make sure all of the numbers are right, regarding your purchase price, if you put down any deposits. You're also going to want to look to make sure that they've prorated the taxes. So if the seller has already paid some taxes, they're going to prorate and give some of that back to the seller. There's going to be a lot of different numbers on it. It may be confusing, so you'll just want to sit down with your agent and look at that to make sure it's okay. And if anything needs to be changed, you need to let your closing attorney know immediately to change that. Okay, the very last pre-closing duty that you're going to want to do as close to the closing signing as possible is your final walkthrough. A final walkthrough is when you and your agent go to the home and do a final walkthrough around the property to make sure everything is either in the same condition or better as when you viewed it. It's extremely important that you do this. The world's worst thing that could happen if you don't is you don't do the final walkthrough, you go and sign the documents, and then you go to your new home that afternoon and find out you don't have running water or AC, or the house has a tree that's fell on it. So it's extremely important that you perform the final walkthrough as close to your scheduled signing time as possible for the closing. So then that brings us to step 7, closing. Yay! You've made it through due diligence and you're probably ready to move into your new beautiful home. It's been a long process, and I'm sure you've probably signed thousands of documents and are just ready to move in. You should have already reviewed your closing disclosures with your agent before closing to make sure all the numbers are correct, because the closing disclosure, I'm looking at one right now, should state what you need to bring. It says cash at settlement, and that's going to state the amount that you'll need to bring, either in the form of a certified check or a wire. You can discuss that with your attorney on which one you want to do. And if you're doing a wire, it's very important to do it the day before. That way the wire gets there the next day and you'll be able to close on time. And once you have signed all of the closing documents, and once the seller has signed all of their closing documents on their side, both of the attorneys will meet together, and then they'll gather all the information and they'll take it to the Register of Deeds and officially record it. So after it's been officially recorded and closed, then your buyer's agent should reach out to you to be able to give you the keys to the property to move in. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I really hope it helped educate and inform you about the home buying process and just made you feel more comfortable in general. This is a major step for a lot of people, not only financially but emotionally. So I hope this video can kind of help break down each step to give you a little bit more comfort about actually stepping in and looking to buy a home. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. I will be posting my next video a week from now, and it's going to be on the home building process in North Carolina. So I'm so excited about that, and I hope y'all have a great rest of your week.